Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 run. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I wanted to try another of the weapons that was significantly buffed and changed in the 1.1 beta update, and that is the Torch. The Torch was one of the absolute worst weapons in the game before the update, but has been changed significantly. And so I want to give this weapon a try, because it now has much better damage scaling, and I decided to use the Knight, because Torch actually levels up really well now. Torch at level 1 has 50% damage scaling with melee and elemental damage, and at level 2 has 65%, so the Knight, which has higher level weapons, is going to use the Torch pretty well. Obviously we could use other elemental damage focused characters, but I've played a lot of those recently, so I just want to try a good old Knight run, and I like the idea of a Knight running around with 6 torches in a big can of armor because I just think that's funny. The level 2 Torch starting at 4 damage is actually a pretty good, 4 base damage, actually a pretty powerful effect for wave 1, because it means that we will clear wave 1 much faster than we would otherwise, so we're going to end up with a little more money than we would without that. As you can see, we made 56 with 1 on the ground. As the Knight, you have to be very aware of what stats you can take and which you can't. Attack speed modifications are reduced by 50%, but we do still want those. And harvesting modifications are reduced by 80%, so we mostly don't want to buy harvesting. We still want armor, even though we're an elemental damage build, because that will build melee damage and armor. But here I'm just going to take the regeneration, I think. I could roll for luck, but we're just going to want to boost our defensive stats as quickly as we can when we're playing the Knight, so we're just going to go ahead and pick up the regeneration so we can get that going early. Torch will provide a lot of HP because it's a primitive weapon and a lot of elemental damage on its own, so we don't really need to invest heavily in that and can focus on just getting our defensive stats online. Hoping to roll into another level 2 Torch. I could take the Charcoal here. It gives us a bunch of stats we want, so I think I will lock it, and then we were able to roll into one more Torch. Baby Gecko will be nice as well because the burning damage from the torches will kill enemies across the map from us, so especially if we get more burning effects, which we hope to. So we can use the Baby Gecko to make sure we're picking up all the materials on the map. Torch being a slow attacking weapon is definitely a real downside for the Knight, because the Knight has trouble building attack speed, which is one thing that Torch scales with significantly, so we will need to find a way around that. Here, I'm going to, I think, just take 2 melee damage. Elemental damage is good for our burning damage, but the melee damage is just good for the attack damage of our Torch and scales better. Well, I guess, so we get 65% of the melee damage on our initial swing. We get 100% of the melee damage on the elemental damage on our burning tick, and 65 on our swing. So actually 1 elemental damage does more damage for us than 2 melee damage, so I'll take the elemental damage. I'm gonna roll here. I'm looking for more torches, and looking for more torches, looking for more torches. Okay, we did find one, and I'll go ahead and buy the Baby Gecko. Little unfortunate that we had to roll a bunch before we actually found a weapon, so we couldn't buy it, but that is just a risk of playing this character. Your weapons being level 2 means they're expensive, so you do have a harder time than other characters finding your full weapon set right from the start of the game. Torch is a knockback focused weapon as well, so that's another thing I do want to test. You can see we're having trouble not taking hits because it doesn't do much damage with the actual swing of the Torch. Here, I'm going to take luck. I'm not going to invest heavily in harvesting, but luck is very good. We'll take this Torch, and I'm going to buy the Weird Ghost, because we are going to need to not tank a hit in order to use Weird Ghost effectively, so I want to buy it early. Rolling there, because I was hoping to lock another weapon, but for 5, I'm not going to. We do have 2 maximum HP, or 2 HP regeneration, so the Weird Ghost shouldn't be too horrible for us. We can heal that up slowly with our 2 regeneration, plus any healing that we find from consumables. Trying to knock the enemies away while setting them on fire with our Torch. Not the most knightly behavior, but such is what we've been reduced to on this character. Here, I could take percent damage. That boosts all the damage of our weapons. I could roll again for economy stats. I'm just going to take the percent damage, and then we'll just go ahead and take 2 armor. Attack speed would also be good, but armor gives us melee damage and armor, so it's very much worth picking up. Buy those 2 items. Even at half value, coffee is still a great item. Attack speed's really important. And we will take the scared sausage here. Black belt is definitely going to be good. We need increased XP gain if possible. And take the coupon also. Wheelbarrow we don't want because harvesting is weak on this character, but I am getting a little concerned that we haven't rolled into more torches because we're still on 4. Now this is 4 level 2 torches, so we've found effectively 8 weapon levels. Other characters would be very happy with 8 weapon levels, but on the night, that means we still are missing 2 weapons. Enemies now starting to get knocked back and actually killed by the burning damage, just because I've boosted the elemental damage of the character enough that our burning damage is real. But we are starting to fall pretty far behind in terms of income. Somewhere around 170 to 180 on wave 5 is what we're hoping for, and we're definitely short of that. I'll take the regeneration here. More knockback is kind of fun, so I kind of do want the coil. I'm going to lock it, and I will buy the coupon, I'll buy the black belt, and then I will reroll once, because I really do want a torch. We didn't find one. Since I'm buying coil, I will buy alien tongue, because this will increase both our healing from consumable items by picking them up, good for melee characters, and help us pick up materials, though the main concern is boosting our healing. And because it's worth 1 knockback with the coil, and torch is a weapon that really needs knockback to be effective, because the main downside of this weapon is it's a damage over time melee weapon that means that you are not protecting yourself by attacking enemies with the torch unless you're knocking them away, so we need enough knockback to make that more reliable. The fact that so many enemies in the game are immune to knockback, I think, is part of why knockback as a strategy is not very strong. Or if not immune, then almost immune. They've made it so that no basic enemies, only elites and bosses, are actually immune to knockback, but the enemies that resist knockback might as well be immune, given the numbers that knockback has. I'm going to take Terrified Onion. We do need move speed, and it looks like we're not getting that much luck, though maybe I take some here anyways. No, I think I'm just going to take Regeneration. We're just going to try to tank up on this build, I think, at the moment. Take the knockback, especially because I still haven't found my last 2 torches. I'm going to roll here. I will buy all of this armor. We'll boost the damage of our torches, but I am getting quite concerned that we still haven't found more torches. Definitely going to have to break the eggs on this wave because we just don't have the damage or number of weapons to actually kill the big slashers. This is the game's way of telling me that I should not be playing a torch build. It's too dangerous. We're just never going to get torches now. It's like when we were rolling for fireballs the other day, except even more embarrassing to not be able to find a torch. Plus, I feel like once you have 1 torch, when you pick up a stick, you should be able to choose whether it's a stick or a torch. Only makes sense. Here we're going to reroll. I don't really need the 3 lifesteal. I don't really need 7 crit chance either, so I'll probably just take the dodge. Critical hit is not super valuable for this build, in my opinion. Torch only crits for 1.5x, and the base damage of the torch isn't a huge component of our damage output anyways. Let's go ahead and buy that, and then I will throw in a reroll to see if we can find another weapon. We still can't. Alright. Alright, game. It's gonna be like this. Obviously, we could take a different weapon. You could buy lightning shiv or something like that and be just fine. But this is a torch run, dang it. The thing about torch is that, other than the fact that it's really hard to keep yourself alive with it because enemies that you can't knock back, it just doesn't kill quickly enough to stop you from taking hits, it's not terrible as a clear speed tool because it swings in a pretty good arc. It's got okay base damage and the burning damage is good, but it's hard to maintain good clear speed while not tanking damage when you're using the torch. I guess I'll take the black belt. We are losing a lot of luck, but the bonus XP gain is still very valuable, and we'll take 3 armor here as well, because we're the knight. Then we'll take 3 regeneration. I could start buying dodge, but I want to get my healing online as well. Take the metal plate here. We definitely cannot afford piggy bank. But wow, we are still on 4 weapons, huh? I'll take the leather vest and lock these 2 items. I could reroll to see if we can find another torch for 16. I think with 2 locked, that doesn't make any sense. We're gonna have to pick another weapon. If we continue to not find torches, I'm just gonna have to take another weapon, because up until this point, it's been sort of okay to only have 4 weapons, because we had all level 2s. But any other build at this point would have been able to upgrade most of their weapons to level 2 by now, and so we're just quite a bit behind compared to where you would want to be at this point in the game. Not unrecoverably so, but I might have to abandon the idea that we're doing a pure torch run pretty soon if we don't find something to help us out. Our low luck is also a problem because it means that we're getting less consumable healing, which is really important to this character's healing. Our regeneration is, of course, good. We've actually invested quite heavily in regeneration, so we're healing a decent amount through that. But we really need consumable healing to supplement it to keep ourselves alive. I will just repair my luck by taking the Shady Potion here, and then we're going to keep buying more regeneration and keep buying more armor. Go ahead and buy these 2 and roll. We'll take coffee. We will take the cute monkey. This is another way to heal, and I will roll. Take the lemonade. Tardigrade we don't need. Let's roll again. Where are the torches? We're going to take the plant here. And then I kind of want all of these items. Armor from the duct tape, health and melee damage for the muscly dude. These all help. But maybe I just have to roll for weapons here because we still are on 4. I think I'm just going to take the little muscly dude, and maybe we're just doing a 4 weapons run. Actually, I did make a mistake in that shop, because the muscly dude I don't think is significantly better in terms of boosting our damage output than the other 2 items would be, or in terms of boosting our economy. So I should have bought the 2 cheaper items so that we would have 1 more shop slot open, so we'd get a free reroll on 1 more slot. Buying the muscly dude just meant that I have 2 things locked in the shop, rather than just the 1, so we see fewer slots that way. Small error, but a real one. At this point, I do have enough armor that we're able to tank through a lot of what the enemies are doing, and because we managed to repair our luck a little bit, we're getting more consumables. So things are still not looking terrible, though I am offended on my own behalf that we still haven't found any torches. I'll take 7 more attack speed here, and then we need more move speed, so we'll grab that. Go ahead and buy these items and roll. Still seeing no torches, but we'll buy a blindfold, lock a metal, and roll again. Okay, we finally found another torch. I will also take some move speed so we can dodge around this elite. I don't think we're killing the elite because we don't have any weapons, but also because this is a damage over time build and sort of not expected to kill elites. I will test my damage against it and just kind of see whether we do enough to try to kill it. It doesn't really look like it, unfortunately. So we're just going to run away from it. This is a summoner, so we're going to try to clear as many of the summons as possible. Tanking a few hits here to go kill that loot alien. I'm hoping I can loop back around to it and put another round of damage onto it before it despawns. It's very likely to despawn because we're in a summoner wave. I did kill it before it despawned, which is good. And the summoner is very likely to produce enough enemies that because there's a maximum number of enemies that could be on the field. So the fact that there's a summoner elite on the field means that we're very likely to have the loot alien despawn if we don't kill it quickly. I'll take Alien Eyes, our HP's good. This is another way to deal damage, and we'll take 3 more elemental damage, and then 2 more armor. Take a torch, finally. Gentle Alien and Metal. Roll again here. Peaceful Bee does cost me 1 melee damage, but dodge is good. The harvesting isn't particularly useful, but I think I'm still just willing to pay 1 melee damage and 40 for 4 dodge. And it does get us to 0 harvesting. Take the alien magic, but not the acid, because I do actually want to boost dodge, and our HP is fine at the moment. And we finally found our 6th weapon, so really starting to have things come together now, right? Our damage, most of our percent damage is actually coming from the coil at the moment. We've got 1% damage for every knockback, and we have 12 knockback, so 12 of our 16% damage is coming from the coil. That's kind of fun. If I find another coil, that actually will be a real damage boost for us. The high knockback on the torches is starting to do some cool stuff, because enemies are really getting pushed away. But the rib cages, of course, have knockback vulnerability, so they'd be getting pushed a ton anyways. Gonna make the title of this video like Knockback Torches. Have you been kidnapped? As always, of course, I have been forgetting to do this in the middle of these runs, but as always, if you are enjoying the run, just go ahead and leave a comment below. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate that. Let me know what game you're most excited for coming up soon. I'm nervous, but looking forward to Dragon Age. We'll see if it ends up being good, or some of the trailers weren't my favorite, but we'll see how good it is. I'll take the damage here. I definitely want some more percent damage. I'm going to pick up both of these items and then roll. Take a weird food, although we do want to build dodge. The consumable healing is really good. Snail, I actually don't think we care about. Enemy move speed just isn't really a concern for us, because we're intending to just tank through what enemies are doing, rather than have to, like, dodge around enemy projectiles and stuff. The move speed that we're buying is mostly to help us reach enemies faster, so we can apply the fire and everything sooner. We haven't really found any of the elemental synergy items, the new ones. No ice cube, no snowball, no honey, that kind of thing. No fried rice. Fried rice would be huge for us, actually. There would be so many enemies on the field burning, and that much regeneration would be great. So I'd love to see some of the new elemental items powering up this character. Starting to take a little bit of damage here, just because it's hard not to with the number of chargers on the field. But our very high armor when playing the knight is definitely giving us a little bit of leeway there. I'm going to take the recycling. We have 26 armor, so you can see we take tons of hits. It doesn't matter. Take the recycling machine here. I'm going to re-roll. I think we can do better than this. But for 25, I'm not going to. We'll take 8 harvesting. Take the torch here, and then roll. Take another torch, and a helmet, and then roll. And, okay, well, here's all the torches. We're finally getting them. Garden is also going to be good for us, but level 3 torch, by the way, has 80% damage scaling with melee and elemental. So these torches hit really hard. Their individual damage is actually now really high. That's part of why it was so sad that we weren't finding leveled up torches, because torch levels really, really well. So I was excited to try to use these higher level torches to deal decent damage. Because they don't have high base damage, but the damage scaling is actually quite good on them when you're building both melee and elemental damage, which, because we're the knight, we are. I'm not really worrying about clearing the summons, because it doesn't matter if we tank hits. This character is so tanky, and I'm just focusing on trying to kill as many enemies as possible by just applying the fire to everything. Wanted to make sure to kill those healers, because the healers can counteract the damage from the fire, keeping enemies from dying. Playing without harvesting at this point in the game does mean that we are significantly poorer than other characters would be, just because harvesting is so critical to your economy. This is a question I get a lot, is why do you value harvesting so high? And you can see the income numbers here compared to what we'd be getting if we'd been buying harvesting. It would be in the like 500s or 600s at this point, and that's why. So that just should give you some idea of why I think harvesting is just such a ridiculously strong stat. We'll take that. I will take the focus. That's 30% damage for us. Really boosts our fire damage. And I'm going to roll once here. I was hoping to find, I guess, a level 2 torch, but the level 3 is also really good. And Baby Elephant, we only have 16% luck, but this is potentially a little bit of extra damage. I wanted something that could help us kill the elite, because I think we're getting close to being able to kill elites. More elemental damage, for example. Baby Elephant won't do that. I think I will pass on the elephant. We'll take the torch in the garden here. Alright, how do we feel about killing the elite? We feel pretty good about killing the elite. With our alien eyes and just the high damage that the torches themselves are doing, we do quite a lot of damage to the elite. So I'm just going to stick on it. Try to stand basically inside it when my alien eyes triggers, although I took 1,000,000 damage there and have to run. Almost died, actually. Got a percent dodge. So we're just running away here. I like somehow ate every single attack in the world there because I'm bad at the video game, but managed to survive, and we got our full heal off. I was taking so much more damage than I was expecting, just because even with 26 armor, when you just tank every shot, you still take a lot of damage. And the elite itself was hitting me for a lot. Made it through, though. Although only by the skin of my teeth, because I did get a 17% dodge there when I had very, very little health, and that would have killed me. I am going to pass on the barricade, I think. The knockback is not something that I'm super concerned about. This is 3% damage, but 3% damage for minus 5% speed, and we could get 115 materials out of it, so we'll take that. But we'll definitely take the exoskeleton. Yes, we lose 2 regeneration, but this gives us a ton of stats we want. Don't care about the engineering, but everything else is good for us. Take 3 elemental damage here. I will take another torch. Power Fist would be kind of fun. It's an explosive weapon, but we're torches. And then here we get to level to a level 4 torch, which has 100% damage scaling with both elemental and melee damage, and then ticks the elemental damage one more time with the burning damage. So basically, you get double value out of your elemental damage because it hits for the full value and then burns for the full value, making it equivalently valuable to melee damage, and you get also full value out of your melee damage. So level 4 torches are really good now, I think. They level up really well. Still not a great weapon, just because it kills enemies slowly, but the buff to torches has made them significantly better. I'm going to take the gambling token here. Yes, our armor... I don't want to remove the perfect amount of damage reduction, but we can probably get back to that. Ball and Chain will actually not increase the attack speed, or not reduce the attack speed of our weapons that much, right? I guess the level 4 torches it hurts, but it does give me 15% damage, actually 20% damage because of the knockback and 3 armor. So yeah, we're going to go with a Ball and Chain. This does slow the attack speed of my level 4 torches, means I don't need to buy attack speed ever again. but the ball and chain is actually in a pretty good spot here. This item was nerfed significantly in one of the more recent patches. In the beta, when it was first introduced, it was at 0.5 and was an auto buy on like half the characters that saw it. Now, I think it's in a good spot where you can buy it in spots like this, but wouldn't necessarily in others. Hang on. Why did the ball and chain take the torch to 0.77 rather than 0.75? It was at 0.62. So it should go to 0.75, not 0.77. I feel like I'm being robbed of 0.02 seconds worth of cooldown on my torch attack here. All right, bug report. Unless there's something I'm misunderstanding, the level 4 torch, right? Yeah, should have 0.75, not 0.77. I think we'll somehow survive this terrible trial. I don't think this is going to make the difference between winning or losing the run, but it's odd that the item worked in that way. I wonder if it's setting the base cooldown to 0.75, but then we have attack speed that should increase it past that, so it should still like if you had negative attack speed and it was setting the base cooldown to 0.75, you could see it decrease the cooldown like that past 0.75, but we don't have negative attack speed, so I don't think it should be working like that. I wonder if the knight's attack speed modification is doing something weird. I'm sure someone will point out something obvious that I'm missing in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and roll here and take 8% damage, and then we will take the alien magic. Go ahead and upgrade my torch as well. Yeah, so they're all on 0.77 despite the level of torch, which I think shouldn't be correct. Alien tongue I will lock here because we are doing a whole knockback thing, so I'm just going to buy the knockback items when I see them. Now our damage should be radically high enough to be able to kill the elite quickly, so we're just going to go ahead and camp near it and hit it with all our alien eyes and our torches. And we got a 15-second elite kill. A far cry from having to run away from the first elite when we only had 4 weapons. Knight, despite having been slightly nerfed in the update, I think is still the single easiest run for Danger 5. So if you are looking for a character to get your first Danger 5 win, or you're looking for a character to get an easy win with in order to unlock items or anything along those lines, Knight, I think, is the single easiest run. It's either Knight or Doctor, but definitely one of those two. I'm going to recycle this. We don't really need it, and I will roll here, because I think we can do better, though as it turns out we can't. I'll just take 2 melee damage. I don't want to reroll for 33 there. I will definitely take the fuel tank and the alien tongue, and we'll reroll again. Yeah, so the flaming brass knuckles is locked at 0.75. I guess I'm going to buy some attack speed if we see some, just to see how that affects the 0.77. I'll definitely still take the peaceful bee here. I would like to get my dodge up to a more reasonable value before the end of the game. And weird ghost, we don't really need the HP, though it does help out my alien eyes. But I think when we're rerolling for 49, we're just going to hold on our 100 monies and go to the next wave. I will probably do another torch run, because this, I mean, this one was kind of a weird one, because we just didn't find and upgrade our torches for so long, but also because I think the torch is actually a totally viable weapon now. The buffs, I think, have made it not one of the strongest weapons in the game, but definitely a reasonable weapon that you can absolutely just play with. Okay, so I'm going to buy 10% attack speed. I'm going to see what happens here, just for fun. And we've gone... Okay, so the attack speed modifiers with the knight are doing something very weird, because I just bought 10% attack speed, and we lost cooldown on our torches. These all also have different base attack speeds. The level 2 torch is now at 0.8 instead of 0.78. That's fascinating. I'm really interested how that math worked, because we actually lost attack speed when I bought the poisonous tonic. So ball and chain plus knight are doing something very odd in terms of how they interact with the attack speed modifications, presumably doing something weird to the ball and chain math. Combine that, yeah, still 0.78 for that one. I was curious if combining them would make it calculate differently than the one that we already had, because you can never tell if something totally weird is going to happen when you start seeing odd math like that crop up. So, what we now know, what we've learned for the future, is if you are playing the knight with the ball and chain, don't buy attack speed. It's not good for you, apparently. It's actually reducing my attack speed relative to what it should be. I think, in fact, it might just be making... Yeah, it's counting my attack speed as negative, maybe? We have plus 25%, so it's not quite counting it as negative. But definitely some weirdness is occurring. That's my... As a professional Brotato player, that's my diagnosis on what has occurred here, is something strange. This garden is very helpful because it makes sure we always have somewhere to go when we need a rapid burst of healing. I will take the community support, the attack speed... No, wait, we don't want attack speed. Never mind. We won't take community support. We'll take the scared sausage, though, and we will buy, I guess, 6 melee damage, going up to 96, so that then we can kill the elites a little faster. Here, though, I'm going to take the regeneration. 5 more regeneration is actually a really big deal for surviving this elite wave. 6 melee damage from the mastery is probably better on average than what we're going to find by re-rolling. The garden is good here. The move speed will help us dodge, and the defective steroids will also help. And then we're going to re-roll here. And I would definitely take the handcuffs if we could afford them, but we cannot. So let's roll again just to see what we're missing out on. Oh, right. Honey isn't an elemental damage item anymore. I mentioned that it was one that I wanted, but it's an explosive damage item now. Toxic sludge would be good as well, but we should have the damage with our weapon swinging for in the 200s, 100 to 150 to 250 range. We should be able to kill the elites, hopefully before we die. With 37 armor and only 30% dodge, but a reasonable amount still, I think we should be well set up to do that. Go to wave 20 and probably killed this elite first, just because it's the one I saw first, but we'll get the damage on both of them, because we want our, burning damage to be ticking. The burning damage isn't a huge component of our damage output, but definitely not 0. Working around them in a circle here, and we're just going to chase the squid face boss and try to kill him. Got him dead. And then we're gonna go back after the octopus boss. And we have defeated the octopus boss as well, while still at a comfortable maximum HP. So that was a fun run. It was a kind of a weird one because we didn't find torches for so long. And as a result, we were a little behind in economy. So you see that we actually ended up buying very few items over the course of that run compared to most runs. But The coupon was still a big deal, saved us 200 materials. The scared sausages were great. Not only did they deal damage themselves, they also boost the burning damage of all of our torches by 1 each, because that's how scared sausage interacts with weapons that already produce burning damage. So that was just a big boost to our damage output. The 3 coffees early were pretty good, but mostly we just bought a ton of armor to boost our melee damage and then killed things with torches, which is what I was hoping to do with the knight. Alright, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed that torch run, something that you perhaps never thought to see me do, but here we have done it. And of course, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. I'm also, I guess I should mention this again, I'm still tweaking my microphone settings, so trying to, just remove some of the background noise and echo a little bit, and make sure that my sound quality continues to improve, as I always want to strive to improve things around here. So, of course, do let me know if you think that this sound is working well for you. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.